Hi there folks, my name is NovaWrap and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop summary from all your simulation releases and goings on from the week that was. Alrighty, so we're going to get started this week with a new release from Carinado. So this week we saw the release of Carinado's B350i Kingair, Super Kingair. So now, we've all heard about Milviz has been talking about theirs coming out for around about 3.5 years now, we've seen various work in progress shots and all the rest of it. But Carinado have surprised everybody and they've released theirs. So this is available now. So it comes with their original Proline 21 multifunction display system, and of course, as usual, comes with their usual normal NovaWrap 2013 database included. Of course, you do need to get a subscription if you want to have the updated one, but it does come with the 2013 database fully included. It comes with, as usual from Carinado, it comes with your 5 high definition liveries plus your normal blank one, all your normal usual checklists and manuals and everything that you need to get the aircraft in the air, plus the usual amazing graphical detail that we see from Carinado. So that is available now from your favourite flight sim retailer. Alright, moving on to other aircraft releases this week. So, of course, in the last couple of weeks, we saw the DCS fans had the joys of having the Gazelle come to DCS skies, and now don't worry, FSX and P3D users, you can also now fly a Gazelle as well. So the guys over at MP Design Studio, they've released their Gazelle, the SA342. So the same model that is featured in DCS is now available for you in FSX and P3D as well. So it's come down through with a very, very detailed model of the externals. Interior model looking quite nice as well. Not system-wise, not as the full fidelity system system simulation that we got from DCS, but still looking pretty damn amazing. It comes with a single paint scheme, but it does come with a no, it doesn't come with a paint kit, but the paint kit is available apparently from the developer. Just need to get in touch with them. So don't worry, folks. Yes, you can fly this in a non-combat role outside of DCS now. Alrighty, in other aircraft releases this week from the FSX this week, we saw FSX Steam Edition release the Grumman E2C Hawkeye. So the naval aviation community in FSX have been pleading to developers for a Hawkeye for pretty much as long as FSX has been around. The only one that was around before was an Abacus one, which was, shall we say, left a lot to be desired. So this week we saw the release of Batavia. Batavia released their rendition of the Grumman E2C Hawkeye. So this is a late model E2C, looking pretty damn quite high quality as Batavia products usually do. Just a note though, this aircraft is going to be an exclusive to FSX Steam Edition, so it is not going to be available for FSX Box Edition or for P3D, which is a real shame. It really is, especially for cross-platform players like myself. Thinking of cross-platform pilots like myself, I balance my time between FSX Steam Edition and between P3D. So it's a real shame I'm not going to be able to enjoy this in prepared. But anyway, it comes with 2 blank liveries, just to standard grey and white, an all-over grey and a grey and white scheme. But with no markings. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. I know it's Dovetail's policy not to put anything out they don't have a license for, but yeah, it gives us a little bit of frustrating. But hopefully we should see hopefully a paint kit will be available shortly, and we will be able to those of us who are creative and do color schemes will be able to fill in the blanks with that sometime very soon. Alright, moving on again, so this time sticking with the flight simulation world, moving into scenery. So the guys, there's a group, a German flight simulation group called Simmers Home. Now, I've had some really great dealings with this community, and they are a very inventive and very innovative community. And what they've done is some of their members have come together and produced a Rostock Larg airport. So a very, very highly detailed rendition of this airport, including not only including the civilian and military elements of the airfield, as well as the former military base and the mixed commercial zones to the north and the south, as well as the fully highly detailed solar panel field, which is located to the south of the airport as well. It contains over 10 kilometres of highly detailed roads, terminal access, and jetway features with that as well, interactive jetways with that as well. So, looking absolutely incredible, this one. And you know what? Even better thing, it is available for free. So, this is an absolutely amazing piece of scenery from an amazing team of developers that are giving away their products for free. So, I really can't say anything more than that. But yeah, it is an absolutely incredible airport. Highly recommend that you do it. It does require just a free login, a free account on the Simmers Home forum. But they are a great community. They really are. They do some amazing scenery and amazing work. And so I highly recommend that you do join them and see what else they've got in stock. But yes, Rostock Lag available now for free from them. Alrighty, moving away from the world of flight simulation for the moment, so we're moving into the world of the permanent way. So we saw a few releases into the train simulation market this week. So from the team over at Just Trains, so Just Flight's ground tide ground division. We saw the release of their Atlantic high-speed route and their TGV Atlantic train. So what this does is this is a 220 kilometer route going from Paris through to Saint Pierre des Corpes in Tours, going through two other high-speed stations as well, and includes TGV trains that allow you to go hurtling along those lines at over 300 kilometers an hour. Now this gives you 10 scenarios as well as several free roam scenarios included. Gives you beautifully detailed, including both summer and winter textures of the route and its surroundings, including some amazing tunnels and just some beautiful scenery that's been done through here as well. It is looking pretty damn spectacular. It is, especially great for people who've had a taste of TGV trains with an earlier Dovetail official release, but we're sort of disappointed with the lack of scenarios and the lack of track for them. So this is a great add-on that you can get for your simulation experience now. So this is available from Just Flight, from Just Flight or Just Trains online store, and from your favourite simulation retailer now. Sticking with, of course, Train Simulator at the moment as well, we've got they've released the BR440 Coradia Continental Loco add-on. You will have to forgive me, folks. This whole thing, I'm still a little bit under the weather after my trip back from Flight SimCon, so I do apologise for the audio quality of this one. But this train is a Deutsche Bahnhof development of the earlier BR424 425 series. As of a electrical motor unit, and it was actually considered to be quite revolutionary as well, as it took the previous high quality, popular and quality design of the 424 425, but it did something fairly innovative for the time. What it actually did is it took all the equipment that was normally located under the floor and actually moved it onto the roof. Now, this may not seem like a huge thing, but it meant that the train, the whole length of the train and the engine could actually be set at one level. So there was no height change you're going between cars, or as you're traveling throughout the car, your actual height, your floor would actually change its height. Which actually, is a very important thing to make things a lot easier and capacity management a lot greater. So yeah, it's a kind of a fairly technologically advanced train, especially for its time, and very very groundbreaking in terms of its design and use for passenger routes, and also just simply for maintenance as well, and taking care of the train in its maintenance form. So this does come with is fully quick drive compatible. Does come with 3 scenarios. However, those 3 scenarios do require the separate add-on of the Munich Augsburg route to be that needs to be purchased separately in order for you to play the 3 included scenarios. But as I said, fully compatible with Steam Workshop scenarios and quick drive ability as well. Alrighty, continuing on with the train simulation world. This is an odd one again. This is again something that Dovetail Games have done before, and again I kind of don't agree with it. I do agree with it, but I don't agree with it. I'm kind of still sitting on the fence with it about this one. Again, poorly marketed again about this one. So this is the TGV Voyages train simulator. So what this is that this is a closed environment version of Train Sim 2016 with just one of the French TGV trains and the Marseille Saint Charles to Avignon route included. Now this is available. This is actually a DLC that was released for Train Simulator 2016 back in April, and was the first sort of TGV. LGV TGV release to be done for Train Simulator 2016. And so what they've done is they've done this. They've made it as a standalone, where if you only want to drive this train on that route, you can just get this. You don't have to buy the full Train Simulator 2016 experience and then buy this as DLC. You can just buy this by itself. But it is exactly the same as the previously released DLC. It is exactly the same. It's even the same price as the DLC. So, for those who only want this kind of this experience, it's not a bad thing. But for those who sort of love your trains and thought this might be something different and new, it's not. It's just a standalone version of the existing one. So it does give you an in-game option to upgrade to the full version of Train Sim. Should you love it and find that you want to drive more trains in more places of the world. But yeah, as I said, I see why they do it as an option for people who may only want to do particular trains. But again, it's sort of needs to be marketed a bit. They've done it a bit better this time with the logo actually saying that it is, sort of showing that it is Train Simulator, and a bit better with the description. But yeah, anyway, at least they haven't jacked the price up, so that's a good thing. So there you go. Anyway, so this is available now on Steam for those who don't have Train Simulator 2016 or don't have Train Simulator 2016 and just want to enjoy the TGV route. So there you go, available now on Steam. Alrighty, moving away from the permanent way this time, but sticking with a ground theme. So we saw the release this week of War Truck Simulator. All right. Bottom line, it's $3. So don't go expecting something incredibly amazing for $3. This sort of capitalizes on the success of titles like Spin Tires, where essentially it puts you behind the wheel of a truck in the military, and you have to do various missions. Like, for example, you need to deliver supplies to a squad. You have to rescue a squad. You have to go through various testing fields and stuff like that. It's pretty damn basic, is what it is. It gives you obstacles you got to go through and stuff like that. Interestingly enough, this is the same developer that brought us the mountain bike simulator that I showed on a previous NovaWrap. Definitely not the quality that is in that sim, that's for sure. This looks pretty much like somebody's taken the Unreal Engine and grabbed a few stock assets and thrown it together. But at the same time, for $3 for a bit of fun, probably not too bad to tide you over if you're waiting for something else to come out, and a little bit of a diversion from Spin Tires if you are into that kind of stuff. So yes, this is available now on Steam. Alrighty, continuing on with things on the ground, we saw the release of Valentino Rossi, the game. We saw that one. I kind of always it's always very dubious when you see a simulator sort of just with the game in the title. But anyway, so this is a multi-platform release. So this is coming out for PC on Steam, also available on Xbox One and on PS4 as well. So essentially, what this does is that this takes you through a huge Moto Grand Prix experience on the superbikes. Also gives you a chance to actually go through a couple of different things as well, with a couple of drift and rally challenges using a four-wheeled vehicle. Or if motocross type racing is more your thing, then you do have the dirt bike racing is an option as well. So three very distinct different racing types are brought to life in this sim. Looking pretty interesting. The price is quite reasonable. Obviously, we're going to have quite a bit of DLC coming through as well. You do have an option to have real events DLC for it, which is day one DLC, which gives you the 2015 MotoGP season tracks as well. On top of that as well, there is a season pass available, though you can, if you do buy the digital special edition, you will get access to the season pass that is included in your purchase price as well. So there you go. Overall, looking pretty good, pretty spectacular. The graphics do and the physics do look very much something similar, like they come out of the guys from, like, very similar to what Project Cars has. So yeah, if you are into your being a two-wheeled speed demon, this is probably going to be a title that you have been waiting for and going to be wanting to pick up. So there you go. Available now on Steam, or for you console users, available from your nearest console retailer. Alrighty, moving on. Again, still sticking with the ground for the moment. We saw another one of the manager series. We saw Pro Cycling Manager 2016 released this week. This particular version of this particular managing title, Pro Cycle Manager 2016, kind of shows how far that manager games have come, and they're starting to blur the lines now between being a manager game and being a sport or racing or simulation game. Different merging simulation genres. Because this one, not only does it to put you in charge of being the team, where you decide what they're doing on the track, off the track, how they train, doing your sponsorship deals and stuff like that. But you also actually take control on race day as well, where you actually make decisions and give team orders and stuff like that. So it is something that is pretty interesting, and I'm loving seeing this sort of blurring of the lines of simulation genres. So it gives you the chance to people who've always been into the manager side of ones, but wanting to maybe get their feet wet in something a bit more real time, and also at the same time gives people who've always done the real time sort of simulation games and gives them the chance to sort of dip their toes into the managerial side. So looking pretty interesting. As I said, two wheels, not really for me, but it does go through some absolutely stunning scenery, and of course yes, it does have the Tour de France and the Violetta. God, I really can't pronounce that with this throat. I really can't. But there's both of those two events there. But it does have world global events, over 200 cycling events, including over 550 stages, are all included as part of Pro Cycling Manager 2016. Available now on Steam. Alrighty, moving on to some other simulation type releases this week. So we saw the release of 3D Pool Billiards and Snooker. Alright, this is a port. This is an iOS Android port onto PC. The iOS Android one has been out for about 12-18 months now. Finally made its way to PC. All I'm going to say is thank you to the developers and the publishers for not trying to jack the price up just because it's now on PC. They've kept it at pretty damn close, I think $1 or $2 more than the price that it is on mobile devices. Otherwise, it looks exactly the same, plays exactly the same as it does on mobile devices. So I want to put this out there and say thank you guys for at least realizing that you know, don't try and gouge the PC market just because we've got big rigs and we're not trying to. We've got a bigger screen. So thank you to you for the developers for that one. It goes through a whole heap of your classics, your classic 8 ball pool, in your full in snooker. Everything's on there. The physics engine, from what I've seen, looks pretty damn. It looks not too bad. I've seen better, seen a lot worse as well. As I said, gives you four game types: 8 ball, 9 ball, 10 ball, and snooker. 4 different room types, different skins and all that kind of generic stuff that you can have for your balls and your cues. So there you go. Available now on Steam, or if you prefer on your mobile device from the Apple app. What is the Apple store called? Is the App Store? I don't have an Apple device. App Store, and from the Google Play Store for Android now. Alrighty, moving away from the fixed surfaces now and moving into the outer space. So, we saw the VR's really starting to take off. And having used a VR headset for my first time over at Flight SimCon, I'm really impressed where the technology is going. We saw the release this week of ZeroG VR. So, space and zero gravity is something that's probably where VR is really, really good to experience, and it just sort of really gets that sensation of motion with it. This is from a small developer based out of Shanghai. Basically, they've gone through various different modes. They've got 4 different sort of main modes. We've got rescue mode, chase the shuttle, black hole, and high speed. Essentially, rescue mode is that you've got a certain amount of oxygen and you've got to get to the space shuttle. Not that there's a space shuttle anymore, but anyway, we'll ignore that one. Chase the shuttle again, or tracking mode. Basically, your spacewalk went awry. You've got to use your propulsion unit, speed, and gravity to be able to rendezvous with the shuttle. That's otherwise you don't get lost in space. Black hole, essentially like a challenge mode where you've got to navigate through gravity, idiosyncrasies, and trying to escape the black hole. And of course, the final one, which is high speed mode. Basically, it's a racing mode where you get to dodge through an asteroid field. Dodging through an asteroid field in first person does look kind of cool. It really does look kind of cool. Anyway, of course, VR headset is required for this one. So it supports both the Vive and the Oculus Rift. Does use either gamepad, keyboard, mouse, or tracked motion controllers as well. Fully single player and is usable for seated, standing, and scales up to room scale VR. So there you go. I'm pretty impressed from what it graphically looks like. As I said, I don't have a VR headset at the moment, but I'd love to hear the feedback from you guys, for those of you who do have VR headsets. And if you do grab this title, I'd love to know what you think of this ZeroG VR, available now on Steam. Alrighty, moving on from here. So, we've pretty much come to the end of this one. We've pretty much just got one title left, or sorry, two. We've got 2 things left to look at. So we're going to return to Earth now for the moment. So Dovetail Games recently released Flight School, as we all know, which was designed as a closed market, no SDK support, no third-party support. It was just going to be, this is it. This is your box to play in. But of course, as a community, from day one, we all started messing with it, trying to do things to it and whatever. Some very fascinating, interesting articles over at FS Developer and over at Sim Outhouse about how to manipulate your flight school if you're into that. But the first add-on commercial add-on is now available for Dovetail Games Flight School. This is from the guys over at Tabaret. Tabaret, of course, are very, very famous for doing their night lighting of various parts of the world. They've come out with a vector data update for Europe. For those who may not be familiar, vector data is your roads, coastlines, mountain peaks, things that make the edges of the land where they are, and makes where things should go and stuff like that. That's what vector data is. The vector data that included in Flight School is massively outdated. It's 2005 era vector data. It's out of date, phenomenally. Poor choice, Dovetail, by the way, but anyway. But no, if you do want to update your vector data now for flight school, for your flight school experience, you can do that from Tabaret. So this looks like they're probably going to do a series. So this is the first one. This is Duffer Games Flight School Europe's vectors. So this gives just the European countries. Whole heap of countries. I'm not going to list them all there, but the main ones are there. As I said, it replaces and updates the data for rivers, lakes, roads, traffic, rivers, lakes, roads, streams, railways, coastlines, all that vector data, that's all updated. Includes, all your majors, the United Kingdom, most of Western Europe is included there. In fact, there's a lot in there. There's like 30 odd countries in here. So pretty much all of Europe's covered, so you're good. So yeah, if you are enjoying your flight school experience, but you do want to update your vector data, this is available now over at Sim Market, and I expect it will be available at all other flight sim retailers very, very shortly as well. All right, we're on to our last product for this one, and this one creeps me the hell out. I'm not a huge fan of horror games. I'm not a huge fan. Not a huge fan of the jump scares and stuff like that. I'm not a huge fan of that. But if you are, this is probably going to be the game for you. This is called Welcome to the Game. Basically, it's a horror puzzle game which sets you as someone who's exploring the dark web. The dark web, deep web, various names of it kick around. It's the internet that most of us will never see, but we hear about, and very popular in science fiction. Your challenge is you've got to find 8 hidden keys to find a URL to be able to access the Red Room. The Red Room is where you interactively watch someone get tortured and murdered. I'll just let you stew on that for a moment. Anyway, this is available now. It's a really interesting idea, very fascinating. Indie develops. It's only $2, so it's pretty out there. But watching a few other people play it, as I said, jump scares, horror, not my thing, so I'm probably going to stay clear of it. But if it is your thing, definitely give it a go. Great price from the devs as well. Available now on Steam. Good luck to all who wish to play it. Anyway, there you go. Alright folks, that does wrap up the NovaWrap for this week. For those of you who of course have been following me and were expecting a Flight SimCon video at the moment, I am working on them. I've just got back to Australia. I'm currently working on all the videos. Unfortunately, due to some technological issues, I didn't have the audio equipment that I wanted to have while I was there, so I'm having to work very, very hard on editing the audio, but I do hope to have those videos coming out very, very shortly over the course of the next week or so. So thank you very much for your patience with me on that one. Otherwise folks, thanks very much for joining me. Don't forget as always to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more, and of course as always you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.